know that TV detective shows aren't documentaries, but how closely do they follow correct investigation procedures? And does it matter?
Authenticity is very important to certain viewers.
How did she fire the gun?
The presumption was she tied the string around the chair back and then pulled the trigger.
It's possible, but the shotgun firing mechanism is usually very positive. If she pulled hard enough to fire it, she risked spoiling the aim.
We don't really know whether or not what we're being shown is right or wrong. I couldn't tell you. But it gives a kind of verisimilitude to the drama. So that you think, well, you know, if they're getting these details about blood groups and lacerations right, maybe the characters are working too.
I think audiences like to think that they're eavesdropping. You know, I mean, who among us would ever get the chance to really listen in on a murder investigation? So I think they'll kind of believe what we tell them is the truth.
5 foot 10 inches tall, born in Greenock. Kozlewski. Jacek Kozlewski.
You seem very sure.
Yeah, well, he did have his passport on him.
You know, we try to get it kind of right. We don't want people laughing at us.
Well, there's no prints of the screwdriver, none on the lift, and the DNA picture is apparently chaotic.
OK. Mobile phone?
Stuart.
Nowadays, we like to feel that our TV detectives are bang up to date with the latest police procedures. And modern writers love to take us through every bit of forensic detail, because the more jargon we hear, the better the show.
Spiffing.
A programme like Silent Witness, where it is absolutely about following all of the latest scientific techniques.
2 centimetre abrasion on the right forehead. Can you give me a photograph here, please?
If any of those techniques were proven to be wrong, or if you could see through them that the science was completely nonsense, that would take you out of your belief in Sam and all of her supporting characters.
I'd hate to assume anything until I've had time to go back to the scene of the crime and needlessly talk to the family and put their lives and mine at risk.
Yeah, but we can't let you do that, Miss Burton, because that's what we refer to as police work.
Morse, Taggart too, and Barnaby walk straight onto the crime scene. Not a CSI in sight. Trample all over the place with big brown boots. Handle evidence without any gloves. Every rule in the book is broken.
Excuse me, would you be careful not to contaminate the locus? We've not had it checked over yet.
I think particularly with the arrival of Prime Suspect, detective drama took on a completely different shape.
Detective Sergeant Eastle, DCI Tennyson.
Has the pathologist got here yet?
On his way.
Probably certainly an element of following on from the success of Silence of the Lambs that had come out the year before. It's sort of looking at truly unpleasant crimes and investigating them.
As you can see, we have wrongly identified the victim.
It flaunts its authenticity. You know, here we are in these grubby offices. This is the world of the police. And this is one of the first shows, I think, in which were shown crime scenes and autopsies in that unflinching detail. And this is because it's quality television. You know, this isn't a series that we're bashing out an episode of a week. This isn't Z-Cars.
This striving for authenticity means that as well as forensic post-mortems becoming an integral part of the detection process,
Shall I open it?
psychological profiling has proven to be another rich vein for detective drama.
I reckon you're a coward, see?
Cracker is all about the absolute day in, day out minutiae of trying to solve this case and following the whole psychological profiling of who this criminal could be.
Open it. You open it.
One of the things I used to say about Cracker was, in fact, it really didn't reflect real life because everything was compressed into a limited space of time. And to be quite honest, if you're watching a forensic psychologist working, it would be like watching paint dry.
So it seems that we want a balance between entertainment and authenticity, and usually entertainment wins.
It doesn't have to be authentic or real at all. There was a competition held by a popular magazine which compared the procedural excellence of the individual police shows. Morse, Poirot, Midsummer Murders, The Bill, Taggart, and so on. Midsummer Murders came bottom. Out of 10, we got 0. And so did Morse.
Was it enough to kill him?
Oh, yes. But right through his skull. You need a pretty thick one.
So the battering wasn't to make it look like murder, it was to hide the fact that it was murder.
My only reason for writing was to entertain the reader. I have never said anything of any significance, criminologically or from the point of view of forensic laboratories or toxicology. I never said anything. I've never done any research. I used to make it up as I went along.
Either you're looking for someone with an exceptional pair of lungs, or your killer was a commoner garden Englishman, using breathing apparatus, perhaps.
I think the authenticity, the days of authenticity, might be coming to an end because actually they're so easy to send up.
So, Professor Ryan, what can you tell from looking at this little fella?
Well, Rolf, what we have here is a man, 44 years of age, who lived in Hull, supported Bristol Rovers, once had a brief affair with a secretary, and drove a red Ford Capri with a silver stripe.
It's a cute little hamster with a bit of a dicky tongue.